Welcome to Rockside Productions, where in this video we are at the 2019 Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So here we are, and it's the first morning of the Midwest Gaming Classic 2019, and I'm excited, I'm nervous, I don't know what I kind of know what I'm getting into because, you know, having gone to Portland Retro Gaming Expo, but I've never done 3 panels. I've done one with John Riggs, and I don't know what I'm going to find. I don't know if I'm going to get people that are kind of like, hey, this is lame, hey, this guy's dull, or if people are going to be into it. So in addition, I've got stuff to see if I can find. I'm looking, really, there's one thing I'm looking for, and that's the Famicom version. In addition to Less Wind, I'm looking for the Famicom version of Proteus Da. It's a great shooter that I've had my eye on him for quite some time. It's really the one thing I'm looking for because I've picked up a lot of things lately that I had been looking for. I've got Earthworm Jim for the Sega CD and for the Saturn. I have my copy of Kid Dracula, but now what I need to do is find a copy of Proteus Da. Let's head to the convention center. Now, before we head to the show, there is one stop that needs to be made. That's right, we're heading to Krispy Kreme because I need myself a couple chocolate iced custard filled and a 2% milk before I head down to the show floor. It needs to be powered. And yeah, I'm pandering a little bit, but hey, I'm amongst my people. I'm back home. I'm in Wisconsin. There's gonna be panels, there's gonna be interviews, there's gonna be stuff to buy and sell. Let's head upstairs and check and see what's going on. You might say things are on the rise around here. Dad jokes. So the show doesn't open for an hour yet, but the line has already formed. This is gonna be awesome. So being someone who's doing a couple different panels here, I actually got into the hall early, and as you can see, there is no one here besides the vendors. We're gonna scope out a few things that we need to maybe think about picking up. We're gonna see if we can't find some old friends and make some new ones too. You better watch out, because when this thing hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious The flux capacitor is not fluxing. Now, you woke up and came out of bed looking like that, right?
Absolutely.
Completely natural?
Yes.
I used to be able to do that. Why are you laughing? I'm telling you, if pinball is your thing, if you have a friend named Tommy, if he's great at the silver ball, this is the place to come to play. Look at all the pinball machines that they have set up, and not only do they have all these awesome pinball machines set up, they're set to free play. There's a Star Wars one back there, it's got my name on it. So one of the many cool signs that they have here at the show, I'm gonna bring you guys up to speed a little bit with some Milwaukees. So first of all, it's not pronounced Milwaukee, it's Milwaukee. The L is silent. Also, it's not a drinking fountain, it's not a water fountain, it's a bubbler. I know, we're weird up here. Just give us this. But some very cool signage that they have here at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Now, I have to admit, I've seen John Hancock's collection, but seeing another person who has a complete NES inbox set, pretty dang cool. So behind me is Wada Games. These are basically a group of guys or an organization that helps value different video games. It's one of those things where if you want to see what your copy of Super Mario Duck Hunt is worth, they can value that. But if you also want to see, like, is your copy of Little Samson legit, they can tell that for you too. This is a really cool way to check out what the value of your collection is and rate it versus, I think this is worth 50 bucks, I think it's worth 100. So the crowds have started to come in. It's about, there's someone who, Sega fan. But the crowds have started to come in here, and it's kind of neat to feel the energy in the whole room just go up higher and higher as more and more people come on in. This is gonna be fun. got a chance to meet the guys from Another Zelda podcast. We even recorded a segment for one of their upcoming episodes. So we are in one of the other main halls right now, and as you can see behind me, the guys from Eon Gaming are here. They're running their tournaments just like they did in Portland. I might do a little bit of announcing for them. I can't get away from him. No matter where I go, the Pixel Game Squad follows me wherever I go. Now, I have to admit, he's more handsome than Gabo. He has soft skin. I do. I look at this and I think, eep, op, oop, ah, ah. There we can see the flux capacitors fluxing. So here we are coming to the end of the first day of the Midwest Gaming Classic here. And man, I have met so many awesome people already and picked up some really cool stuff. Now, I went by one booth, and you guys know me, I love collecting Famicom and Super Famicom games. And I did find one booth that they're like, oh, you like Famicom? We have Famicom games. And they gave me a great deal on several games that were only $1 each, which was really, really cool. There was one that was a little bit more, but you know what? It's supposed to be a better game, so that is cool. In addition to that, I also picked up a couple other games too from another booth, again for the Famicom. The first one I saw earlier this morning. I sat down, and when I came back to the booth, I saw someone who was, well, he was holding my game. Well, not really my game, because I hadn't bought it yet, but he was eyeballing it. He had it in his hands, and I kept on hoping, you're going to set that down, right? You need to set that down. That's not your game, that's my game. You need to set that down. And that was Popeye for the Famicom. Now, those of you not familiar with Popeye, it is one of the first games to come out here in the US for the NES. It's basically an action platformer that's, how can I describe it? Almost like a Wrecking Crew, or it's a multi-level side where you have to basically play as Popeye and you try to take down Bluto and rescue your love, Olive Oil. Now, in addition to that, I also picked up a copy of Donkey Kong 3, and it's not one of the most popular versions of Donkey Kong, but it's still a lot of fun. And in total, $15 for both of them. Pretty good deal. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, when I was at the Missouri Game Con last year, I did see a vendor there who had a custom game called Splatterhouse. Basically, it's derived from the Splatterhouse series that's available on other systems, and he actually made a version for the NES. I talked to the guy a bunch and checked it out, and you know what? I had to buy it. So I picked up a copy of Splatterhouse. I love supporting those who support this community. But I wasn't done yet today. One last purchase I had to make. I've been eyeballing this one, seen it around a couple times. Nah, I didn't want that one. Found another one. Nah, I don't want that one. And then I decided, you know what? I want this. And this is Adventure Island 3. It reminds me a lot of the Wonder Boy games, especially those where you can go ahead and jump on the back of animals, and that's what you can do on this one here. Now, it was not complete in box, it was a loose cartridge, but one of the things I really liked about it was the fact that it included a cartridge protector case right with it. And the guy gave me a good deal on it too. So we're gonna go back to the hotel, wash up a little bit, head out to dinner from Adam from One Up Cards before we get ready to head back tomorrow. We made it. It's the final day of the Midwest Gaming Classic. You guys can probably hear that my voice is a little bit shot. We're at the hotel. We're gonna get ready to head out here in a second. One last pickup from last night that I didn't show yet is, as you all know, if you're familiar with the channel, we recently had a little one. And of course you need burp rags and the like. And we found these amazing burp rags and bibs at one of the booths. This one here, Mario Kart and narwhals. Narwhals, they swim in the ocean, cause a commotion because they are so awesome. Speaking of awesome, had a chance last night to meet Tad Stone, who is the creator of the one and only Let's Get Dangerous. Darkwing Duck, Gizmo Duck, and a whole lot more. Spent quite a bit of time talking to him yesterday. We're going to show you his booth and everything. Try to talk to him a little bit. He's busy, don't want to take too much time away from him, but it's time to head back to Krispy Kreme. We need more donuts. Gotta feed the fat boy. And head back to the hall. Let's get going. So one of the things, anytime I come to a show, I always ask people, hey, is there anything you're looking for friends and things like that? And my friend Brian told me he was looking for a copy of Mega Man 5. And the cool thing, I was able to get him a good deal on a copy. It's super crispy looking. It comes in a protective case. And best of all, they were actually able to accept his PayPal, so I didn't have to front Brian any cash. That's right, he went ahead and paid him. So I'm not out anything, and hey, I have a copy of Mega Man 5. So I'm not a huge fan of buying the same game 2, 3, 4 times. I mean, if it comes out on multiple platforms, maybe, but if it's just a re-release of the exact same game, you know, I don't want multiple copies. Now, one game that I have actually bought 2 copies, a PAL and a US version on, is Darkwing Duck. Well, I just bought a 3rd copy. There's a reason why. The creator of Darkwing, Tad Stone, he's here. I'm gonna have him autograph this. This is something, it'll never get played ever again, but it's something that'd be really cool to have in my collection. All right, we have both of our panels now have been complete for the day. They went decent. Our first panel was talking about how to clean and maintain your retro games, talking about Bright Boy, talking about stuff that we have here on the channel before, basically just doing it in a live version. And then from there talked about something I've actually wanted to do as a video on the channel, and I may still end up doing it, and that is why clone consoles, well, they're not the devil. So it's about 3:30 now. I just was over at the Eon Gaming booth. I always enjoy hanging out with those guys, had some great pictures with them, but they do a Mario Kart tournament at every event that they go to. I love announcing those type of races, so I got to announce the last 2 rounds of their tournament. It's what I call happy hour now. Vendors are starting to pack up. They don't want to take this stuff with them. This is when deals are to be made. Let's see if we can find anything. Let's go last minute shopping. There's an Earthworm Jim comic book.
Groovy!
That's absolutely absurd. Alright, I was kind of losing hope. I didn't know what I was going to find. I didn't think I was going to find anything. And then I found something. Now, I actually don't own any of the Mega Man games. Well, I didn't. And then I found one. And I was able to get it for a really good price. Mega Man 2 is one of my favorite Mega Man games, or even just one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time. It's a great action platformer, great shooter, and just so much fun. And there's a reason why that was the version that was included on the NES Classic. And now, it's in my collection. So I really thought I was done. I really did. And I blame Brian for this one, as they are getting ready to shut down. There's still half an hour left in the show. But I had to make one last purchase. So, I mean, I bought Mega Man 5 for Brian. I'll be taking that home for him. Bought Mega Man 3. You can't have Mega Man 3 without Mega Man 2. And then I found one. And I was able to get it for a really good price. So sometimes I need to be saved from my own stupidity. I bought 2 copies of Mega Man 2. Thought I had bought Mega Man 3. Nope, bought 2 copies of 2. Thankfully, the guys behind me at We Buy Games bailed me out. Can't even show the right side. Here's Mega Man 3. So now I do have Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 2 in my collection. 2 great games. Thanks to the guys over at We Buy Games for hooking me up, for working a deal for me, trading in my copy of 2 for 3. So that's going to do it for us for our coverage of the Midwest Gaming Classic 2019. What an absolute blast this entire show was. Great people, great event, good deals, not great deals. Well, I got a couple great deals, I'm not going to lie. Had such fun hanging out with the guys from Eon Gaming, hanging out with Adam with One Up Card, meeting all the fans here, doing the panels. You know, like I say, there's more to see. Just follow along. We have a lot more coming up. Again, thank you all. for coming along in this journey. Now, if you do have any comments or questions about anything that you've seen here, anything about the Midwest Gaming Classic or retro gaming in general, as always, feel free to send me an email, rocksolidmail@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter @RockSolidStudios. Follow us over on Instagram at instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK, or we've always got the conversation going over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. Now, if you do want to get early access to all of our video content, help support the show too, head on over to our Patreon page, where just like these people you see on screen right here, you can help support the channel. Everything that we raise goes right back into what we do here on the channel. And as I mentioned early on, if you like what you see here, you want to see more, as always, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. That way you are kept up to date with everything that we have going on here with Rock Solid Productions. Again, huge thanks to the folks here at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Great to be back home. Great to bring home some very cool gear. Thanks to Tad Stones too. I mean, that's awesome to get that autographed copy of Darkwing Duck. I am Gary. This has been Rock Solid Productions from the 2018 Midwest Gaming Classic. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.